Companies, very rare breed. They don't always play by the rules or conform to the norm. Often they do stuff they probably shouldn't. I mean, get a load of what the CEO of discount airline RyanAir, Michael O'Leary, said to the media in Germany with cameras rolling. You can find this unedited.
So in economy, it'll be very cheap fares, say €10, and in business class, it'll be beds. In economy. In business class, it'll all be free, including.
Okay.
What's the German for?
There's no German.
There's no German for.
Yeah, he said it again and again, and he was referring to a particular sex act, I guess is the blindest way to summarize that. All right, let's talk to a couple experts about this. Laura Rees is the president of Rees and Rees, and I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that. And Rob Frankel.
You got it right.
Oh, good. Good. And Rob Frankel is a branding expert and author of The Revenge of Brand X. So, Laura, I got to tell you, I'm sure that there's going to be great outrage over his crudity, and people are very upset. On the other hand, I think there's going to be a lot of guys out there who are thinking, I want to fly on his airline. He's got a sense of humor.
Well, there are a lot of people flying on RyanAir. And really, it's not a surprise coming from this brand. This brand is known for its irreverence. It's known for being outrageous. And this guy is not the first thing he said that is to that point. So for him, I think it's okay. If he was at Delta Airlines, he'd be done.
Right. And now that's a really good point. And Rob, you know, this is also the same guy who's contemplating charging you extra to use the bathroom on flights. And I'm not sure, but you know, maybe he's planning on setting up an actual formal Mile High Club for frequent flyers.
Actually, you know what? I'll tell you, I have a feeling that this is more like the wardrobe malfunction of the airline industry. It was a brilliant media play. But the fact is that, you know, you have a lot of guys ever since the emergence of a guy like Steve Jobs, who really makes investment grade cool, kind of trying to be a little cooler than they really need to be. Quite honestly, I think this kind of guy actually detracts from credibility and kind of is shooting from the hip a little too much, if you'll pardon the pun.
Shooting from the hip. Good one there. On the other hand, Laura, I mean, we're talking about RyanAir, and did he not do certain outrageous things, we wouldn't bother with him at all.
Yes, and two, this guy he's not new to the company. He's been CEO of the company for 16 years. He's a part owner in the company. He really speaks for the company, and this is really the company's position, to be outrageous, to be crazy, to offer the craziest low fares. And in that point, it does work. And hey, you know what really is interesting is that that's what people think anyway, that those rich people in business and first class are getting things like what they mentioned and all sorts of things, because there is really class warfare when it comes to these airlines. That's why those low-cost, all-coach services have gotten a lot of attention, RyanAir being one of them. Right, Rob, his untoward comment wouldn't make you stay away from the airline, would it?
No, it wouldn't make me stay away from it, but I got to tell you, when it comes to actually getting on an airplane, maybe it's just me because I'm not a great flyer, but I kind of want to know that these guys are taking it seriously and it's credible. Now, if he were the chairman of Hooters Airline, then that would be a different story because I would kind of expect it. But, you know, there's this whole undercurrent of you keep cutting away, doing things on the cheap, not taking things seriously. Pretty soon, people are starting to look at the credibility of your brand, and I think that maybe he might be auguring below the surface.
Actually, Laura, I think Rob just pitched a great marketing alliance there between Hooters and RyanAir. But, you know, we do have a history of very flamboyant CEOs doing a great job for their company because of their antics. Ted Turner was a masterful at it. The late Malcolm Forbes over at Forbes was also good at it, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And why is that? Because these were guys that built brands and personal brands that stood for something. And we all know that nothing is better than PR. Nothing is better than celebrity. And of course, Ted Turner was the mouth of the South. Mark Cuban is known as the Maverick. And because they own these positions, they can play with them by doing outrageous behavior. And they have all been greatly rewarded from it by having very successful companies.
Okay, Laura, Rob. Wasn't there an old sitcom, The Dick Van Dyke Show, with Laura and Rob? Thanks very much for being with us tonight, guys. Okay. And next up, tonight's parting shot. We're back in 2 minutes.